What's up everyone, Sean Sealer here from Upside Strength. In this video, I'm going to be doing a course review from ALTIS's Coaching the Short Sprints online course, so keep watching. So I've been wanting to make this video for a little while now. I took the ALTIS, it's part of the track and field education series. It's called Coaching the Short Sprints. It's an online course that was made primarily by Dan Pfaff, who's one of the, let's say one of the giants in the sprinting track world in terms of coaching. And so I've been wanting to do a review of this course for a while, so here it is. ALTIS is a performance organization. They work mainly with track and field athletes. They have a training center in the US and they do a lot of online education as well. They have some courses for coaches, sports coaches, for therapists, everything that revolves around performance they deal with. So it's a really interesting organization. They've worked with more than 100 Olympians, over 40 medals won by Olympians that were coached at ALTIS. They've educated upwards of 3,000 coaches, a very, very well respected entity in the field. First of all, I wanted to enhance my understanding of sprinting and how to coach it properly and how to look at it properly. And so this was my main motivation for taking this course. The thing that pushed me over the edge is actually a blog series that I will link in the description that Stu McMillan, one of the main coaches at ALTIS, wrote about toe dragging. And there is a bit of a debate around whether you should toe drag or not. And he did, I think it was a 5 or a 6 or a 7-part series. And I read the whole thing and it was so in-depth and I learned so much just from those articles. I actually headed to the ALTIS website afterwards, saw that they had this course on, and so I took the course. There's quite a few things that I liked about this course, so I'm going to read some out for you. First thing I really enjoyed was the depth of the content. There's a lot of research that has gone into the course itself. Besides even just the knowledge, the prior knowledge from the coaches, there's a whole section on the history of sprinting at the beginning that's really, really interesting that I had never thought about and never read about anywhere. So that was a really good addition to the overall framework. At the end of each module, there's, I believe, 12 modules, and at the end of each module, there's further reading list, continuing education, if you will, for each module, which is very, very, very complete. There's usually 1 or 2 lectures, like full-on lectures, hour and a half lectures at the end of each module to watch as well. So even though the modules are really complete, you get to the end of the module and then you think, oh, I'm done, I'm gonna move on to the next one. You're looking forward to that. But little did you know, there's another 2 or 3 hours of video to watch, which is all amazing content. So I was surprised in a really good way when it comes to that. There's some quizzes at the end of each module to make sure that you retain the information, or actually forces you to go back and do some further reading and kind of dig for that information if you didn't retain it the first time. What's really unique, what I found in this course, is the athlete perspectives that they embed it within the course. So you get something, I don't know, let's say about a block start. So you're reading about block starts and positions and angles and all of that. And then you get maybe a couple short 1 to 2 minute videos of, world level athletes that will tell you about their experience of the block start, what they feel, what they look for, how do they listen for the gun, all those things, which is insights that you don't usually find in other courses. So I found that that was a really interesting addition to the total framework. Same with coaches. Coaches give their perspective throughout the course. There's a lot of written material, but then Dan Pfaff regularly does 1, 2, 3 minute videos throughout each module, adding some nuance to some of the aspects that are covered. So that's always really enriching and really, really beneficial. I find you can really feel the ALTIS philosophy throughout the course. There's some personality to that course. It's not just a blank, let's say a blank course or a neutral course. They take positions on some stuff, but then they also make sure to give you the other perspective. For example, when they talk about models of sprinting, they talk about the 2-mass model, which I believe was put together by Ken Clark. They talk about the other options that we have as well to look at sprinting from a mechanical standpoint. So they make sure that they obviously give their opinion, but give you all the information that you need if you want to decide otherwise or make your own opinion about it. I already mentioned the additional presentations at the end of each chapter, which are really complete. They provide you with a lot of coaching tools. So how to analyze, how to coach, how not to coach, what to program, why to program certain exercises, how to organize a training session a week or a month. So they really go through the whole panel, let's say, of coaching tools that you might need afterwards to coach the sprints. Make sure to note that this is a sprint course made for track and field athletes, not for the short sprints. So they focus on 60, 100, 200 meters. This is not necessarily geared towards sports coaches that evolve maybe in football or in rugby, even though those sports can benefit from sprinting better, but this course is really geared towards the track. That being said, I as a physical prep coach for rugby, took out a lot of good information from it. Honestly, I thought about it for a little while, and I can't really think about anything that I didn't like in this course. Honestly, I was blown away by this course. Probably, safe to say, the most in-depth course that I've taken online, especially for the price tag. I mean, for me, it's a $500, $600, $700 course in terms of the value that they deliver. If I ever want to put something out in terms of a course, I'd want it to be that comprehensive, because otherwise I feel like I would be falling short of what other giants in the field like ALTIS are doing. So I was really impressed, and I honestly didn't have much to say in a negative way about this course. I'd recommend this course to any sprint coach who might be interested in digging a little bit deeper into the scale of coaching the sprints. I would also recommend it to physical preppers who really want to get a good handle on sprinting mechanics and understanding how to look at it, how to view it, how to analyze it, how to coach it as well. I think there's some really valuable tools and nuances in there that I came out with, especially if I have to think about the biggest takeaway is that it's teaching the sprint is really closer to an art than it is a science. There are, some, let's say, science oriented frameworks that you want to use when you analyze things, but at the end of the day, there is no if it then that, if this then that exactly in the sprinting world, because everything works together and everything works to such a everything works so fast that you're never going to get a cut and dry, if they do this, then they must do more of that to correct it. It's not that simple. It's got to be the biggest thing that I took away from the course, is that it's not as simple as it seems, and that you really have to dig to find the root of the problem. What is the poison, they call it, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly. What's the poison that's affecting all the other things, and how do you solve this in order to solve all the emerging problems, let's say. If you want to find more info about this course, I'll simply link it in the description below. I was lucky to get it at a discount during COVID, but it's still, in my opinion, still a steal at $129 for the course. And I wouldn't think twice if you're interested in learning more about sprinting. This is definitely the way to go. A little disclaimer, I was not hired or paid or asked by ALTIS to do this. I'm doing this freely, and really just because I got such tremendous value out of it that I wanted to communicate that and make sure that as many people took advantage of it. I'm also aware that they're soon coming out with a new course, which I believe is called Need for Speed, which is going to be sprinting but geared more towards field athletes or field sport athletes, let's say. So soccer, rugby, American football. So maybe a little more context within that framework, which will be interesting. I'm looking forward to taking this course as well when it drops. But definitely right now, the second when I drop the video, if you want to learn about anything regarding sprinting from ALTIS, this is the place to go. I highly recommend this course. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, make sure you drop them in the comments below, and I'll see you next time for the next one. Take care.